Hello, I'm Dr. Christian Jessen and welcome to this DVD. During the course of this programme, I'm going to be taking a close look at multiple sclerosis, or MS. MS is an autoimmune condition that affects the central nervous system. Around 100,000 people in the UK have MS. That's around 1 in 600 of us. To begin with, I went to meet Lydia to find out what it's like living with MS.
Oh, hello.
Lydia.
Hi.
I'm Christian.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for letting me come round. So Lydia, tell me a little bit about yourself first of all.
Hi, I'm Lydia Egan. I'm 28 and I'm a junior doctor specialising in emergency medicine. I work in London and I live in Maidenhead with my fiancé Chris.
So when were you first diagnosed with MS?
I was actually diagnosed on the first day of my job after graduating uni.
How long ago was that?
That was 4 years.
And what were the first symptoms that you were experiencing that made you go and get help?
I couldn't see properly. I woke up mid-July and looked at my bookcase, which is over the other side of the room, and thought, oh, you dopey mare, you've left your contacts in. And then I went to the bathroom and my contacts weren't in. And I actually just did this. I just picked up my cup of tea and I was thinking like that and I realised that I couldn't see my hand.
Oh, really that close?
And then I tested myself, my visual field, and realised that I couldn't see all of this. But we went to work, to nowhere else to go, and I went into work and I said, I think I've gone blind. And they tested me and said, well, and I was quite insistent that I had, oh, I've got MS, I've got MS. And they said, no, it could be a lot of other things. You can't just jump to conclusions just because you know about MS in your family history. You have to exclude everything else.
Yeah.
And so then I got tested and got my MRI and got my lumbar puncture and everything.
So what are the practical changes that you've had to make now you've been diagnosed?
Quite a few, if you look deep at it, although you wouldn't notice just observing.
So sort of little things here and there?
Very little things.
So like what, say at home, what's different?
At home, we bought this place because it's got no stairs. I didn't want to have any stairs. We plan our food well in advance. I don't like driving, that's a personal thing. I've chosen to take public transport. We don't buy expensive cutlery or crockery or furniture because I tend to drop things. And for example, this weekend I had plans with my friends, but then I did work some long hours last week and I just felt too tired, so I had to tell my friends that actually I can't do it anymore, and so I had to call off all plans and I spent a lot of it in bed.
So those are all the things that you can't do, but actually what can you do?
I still work full-time, which is quite an accomplishment I think in my job, given that it's a busy job.
And your work isn't affected by your MS in any way? No, as long as I remain aware that tiredness is what does affect me, so I just make sure that I'm well rested. I think the way I've overcome it is just by being extremely organised, and then it doesn't. If I'm extremely organised, it doesn't affect me at all. And do you exercise?
I exercise a lot, and I think that has actually helped me a lot in terms of managing my relapses. I run. I do a half marathon every year, the Great North Run, and I climb. Try to climb at least once a week. Depends on work. Not on the MS, but on work. Do
you think people would be surprised to hear that you do all that?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People, I think a lot of people are surprised when they find out that I've got MS.
And tell me about home life with MS.
When I first got diagnosed, I thought that life was going to be lonely. I thought I was going to be a burden. I thought I'd be completely reliant on other people. But not true, and I think it took me a long time to realise that my friends and family and my partner want to be with me because I'm still me. And I didn't realise that for a long time.
So let's talk a little bit about the future now. Do you make plans? And if so, tell me what's on the cards.
It's on the cards. Well, we bought this house, which I didn't foresee myself being able to do, but we bought this house. And we're getting married next year.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So I see a nice wedding happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see children, which I didn't see until about 2 years ago.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now. What advice would you give to someone who's newly been diagnosed with MS?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I think if someone had acknowledged to me that there are rubbish days, but actually if you just focus on the better things and try and get yourself out of that little hole and smile, because then you do actually feel like smiling, it's fine and you can have a normal life.
Lydia, thank you. I have to say, I did not realise that you'd be climbing rocks and running marathons at all. So, you know, it's been a learning experience for me. So thank you for talking to me.
You're more than welcome.
Talking to Lydia has been really helpful to find out the ways in which MS can affect your life. We've now come to the end of the programme and also gained a bit of insight into what it's like living with MS, which can be hard at times, but with the treatments available and support, you can still live the life that you want. Do remember that in addition to support from your doctor or MS specialist nurse, you can also contact a number of MS patient organisations. I hope you found this DVD helpful and informative, and thank you for watching.